seems legit.
Hello Legitimates and welcome back to my channel. As I promised when I did my last Temu haul, I was going to do a video showing me using all of the stuff that I purchased. Now I didn't get all of it into one video because, you know, I got different things for different things. You can't really draw on a shirt like we've done today. But I did manage to use the StrongGrip mat, which I absolutely love. This, which is the weeding tool that I'm using as a pointer at the moment. We used the glitter HTV vinyl and we used the guillotine to chop it all up. Now I think this shirt's come out amazing. It says nope, not today. I got this design off the internet and then I've put my website across the back so that I can advertise myself everywhere I go. If you like any of the things that I'm using, here is the code that you should use, and you could download the Temu app and get all of this stuff. And if you've never shopped with them before, you can save up to 90%. So this stuff is already quite cheap. And then if you're a first-time user, you can build up your hoard and save a whole bunch of money. So with that being said, let's get started on this shirt. First off, we need to take off the dust cover and turn the machine on. So we're just going to open it up, turn it on, and off we go. We'll be using the StrongGrip Temu mat, which I have used quite a lot already and can confirm they are awesome. I will be using my green glitter HTV because it's pretty and I want to. We'll be using the weeding tool. So this has just got like a little pin in the end. And I will be chopping up my things with this. So the first thing I've done is uploaded a design into Cricut Space. You can buy them online everywhere, that's fine. And then the first thing we need to do is mirror the image. Very important that we mirror the image so that it says when we iron it, it will go on the right way. So this is the shirt that I'm going to use. It is, I think it's a Kmart one or a Big W. Actually, I think this one was Big W. So this is my shirt and I want to figure out how big I want this design. So I'm thinking maybe 10 inches, which is 25 centimeters, for those that need to know that. So I'm just changing that now and it becomes 13 inches tall. So that's about 5 inches. So it'll be about that big. That's a good size. So now what we can do, now that I've worked out where I want it and stuff, we're going to have to iron that, but we'll do it later. I am going to take my mat, peel off the protective layer. Always keep the protective layer on. It stops dust particles, which means it's going to last longer for you. Now I will cut this down with the guillotine, but just not yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this right sides down. So you want the pretty side to the bottom. And then I'm going to smooth it down like so. So it's stuck on there like that. And then we're going to go and put it in the machine to cut. So I'm going to load the StrongGrip mat in. I've been cutting, what's it called? Fabric vinyl with this, which is possibly why it's not sticking to that very end, but that bit won't actually matter. So that's fine. It's going to think about it. I have picked glitter iron-on as the substance that we are cutting, and off we go. So I sped this up for you because otherwise we'll be here all day, but it is quickly cutting it out. It does all the inside bits first and then the outside bits. Alright, so that's all done. So now we're just going to peel it off the mat. And I'm going to put my protective dust cover back on. It does need a clean already, but I have been using it a lot, so that's fine. So now I'm going to, I don't like to waste more than I need to. So I'm going to take this and thread it through. Lift your handle all the way up, and I always like to square it up along the edge. And then I'm just going to cut just past the design, so that I'm not wasting this bit when I'm weeding. There's also a little bit down the side here that we can also cut off, again, so I'm not wasting stuff. So I'm just going to chop that as well. So that bit you can keep aside for like small little pocket sections, or if you wanted to put a name on a shirt. Then we're going to take the weeding tool, and I always like to start in the corner. And I pull along and not up. I find up's not as helpful as you'd think. If you hear random beeping, I've put my heat press on. Sometimes it just takes a second. So we're just going to slowly weed out all this bit. Now here, when it goes backwards, it tends to not like doing that. So that's where it helps to kind of pick it out. Now some people do the outside bit first and some people pick out all the insides. I obviously like to do it outsides first. It just works better for me. But if you do it the other way, that's also fine. But we just want to peel slowly so that we don't wreck anything. But this is cut really nicely. I think I'm going to really enjoy this shirt. So I'm just pulling again slowly. As you can see, this design doesn't need a whole lot of the weeding tool yet. So that's rubbish. I'm going to throw that out in a minute. Then I'm going to start in a corner and just pick out the bits inside it like this. And this HTV, you can actually see quite well where the cuts are. And it's not too sticky on the back. Quite often you get really sticky backed ones, which is not always as helpful as you'd think. So I'm just going to keep peeling out these bits. And I'm doing this real time so that I can talk to you, but also so you can see how well it does actually weed. Sometimes I buy stuff and it doesn't weed very well, and I do it off camera for that reason. So now I think I am done. But first I am going to flip it over and look at it to make sure that it's done. And I think that looks amazing. Always close this when you finish with it too so that we don't damage it. And I'm going to lock the handle down on my thing. We are now ready to heat press. Okay, so the first thing you want to do whenever doing a shirt, I'm going to spin that out of the way, is you want to iron it flat. This will also help heat it up so that the thing can stick better. So I'm going to put the shirt in the middle of the heat press like this. Make sure there's no wrinkles. Bring it around, and I'm just going to press it down for a few seconds. I do have a timer. It's not necessarily just for a preheat. So that is now hot. We're going to take our design. This V is the center, so I'm going to fold the design in half to help find the center like this and line it up there. Now this is a very big design, but I am not mad about it. I also want to make sure that it's straight. So the way I do it is I check under the armholes. Some people actually, if you're struggling with this, some people actually like to, do not touch that, it's hot. I say that for both your benefit and my own. Some people like to grab it by the armholes and actually put a small press there so that you can see the crease. And that way you're more likely to be able to get it on straight. Unless you're deliberately doing it crooked, in which case that also doesn't matter. But I can now see a very faint line. So I can take this and it will help me to line it up. And the center. Like that. And like that. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the top of these letters along that crease line. That's where I want it to sit. I always put on a Teflon sheet over the top. And then I'm going to press it. It's on 180 degrees Celsius, which is like your oven average temperature. I don't know what that translates to in Fahrenheit. So I'm going to check it. And it has mostly stuck. I am going to do another 8 seconds. Now, I know some people leave this for 30 seconds. Personally, I think that's too far. But maybe if they had it on a lower heat, that's better. I would not be doing this for 30 seconds. You will burn your shirt. So now we just need to leave that to cool down completely. To help it cool down quicker, you want to pick it up and kind of shake it around in the air. I know that sounds ridiculous, but we shake it around to cool it down, and then we're going to go back to our main bench to peel off the top. I'm going to show you what I'm currently doing. So I've got my fingers in like this, and I'm just doing this directly under my fan. It will cool it down the quickest way possible because the air can get in between. It's still a bit warm. So I'm feeling that it's still a little bit warm. You're not going to damage it by doing this, but you are going to help cool it down quicker. Otherwise we'll be here for ages, and that's not ideal. So we'll cool it down. That should be enough. Let's tilt you down so you can see. You just want to peel. That is some really nice HTV. This is now rubbish. You don't need to keep this. It is still sticky, but there's not really much you can do with it. I mean, I suppose if you really wanted to, you could turn it into a template, like a stencil, maybe? Maybe. How nice is that? It's even got, so this stuff that I picked has even got a bit of stretch in it for the shirt. So I'm really happy with how that come out. It looks crooked. It's not. It's just that my shirt is just sitting a bit crooked. But that's really nice. So it says no knot today, just if anybody didn't get that. I'm quite impressed with this HTV. I'm excited I've got enough to do something else with it, because I'm definitely going to do something else with another shirt. Or maybe we might just put my website along the back. Let's do that. Alright, so again, peel it off the mat, and then we put our dust cover on. It will need a clean, but whatever. It's not a right now problem. I am going to grab my paper chopper again, pop this side under, line this top edge up. You can flip it over if it's more helpful, but because it's glitter, I can't see that way. So we need to do it this way. So I've still got some left over to do another shirt as well. And then again with our weeding tool, and I'm just going to peel it back from a corner. Pick any corner you like. And I know from earlier that this cuts really nicely, so I can pretty much just pull. And again, I like to go outside to inside. You can also get a light box if you struggle to see. I sped up the weeding or we'd be here all day. Now, I always like to put a Teflon sheet on top. I don't like to just leave it there. I've had issues where there's stuff on the plate and it damages the fabric. In this case, a shirt. Now, admittedly, it was only like a $5 or $6 shirt, but that's not the point. You'd still have to go buy another one. So we're going to do 8 seconds, and it will beep at me. It's very helpful, the beeping. And then I'm going to do it a second time. That's not working. Of course it's not. There we go. See how this stuck to it? That means that at some point I've got some glue on the top of that. And that's not what we want. So again, don't peel it off now. Actually, it is working. But a lot of the, especially glitter ones, I'm impressed this is coming off. A lot of the glitter ones tend to not like to let go when they're hot. So it is advised that you do it when it's cold. But in saying that, that was so awesome that it did it while it was hot. I love it. So there we go. Got a whole shirt. I've still got leftovers. And it's going to look amazing.